So you saw Scream 7 over the weekend, you're in a Scream state of mind, and you're wondering, what is the way I would rank these films, these 7 films over 30 years? You're in the right place. Let's find out. What's up, folks? Chris from Cinema Hooked, and today I'm talking about the Scream franchise. I'm ranking all 7 films, and if you already saw Scream 7, you want to know my full thoughts on the movie, you can check out that video right there. Or if you want the non-spoiler version, you just want to see where I rank them, this ranking will be full spoilers, so be careful. If you do want to see my non-spoiler video, you can check that out right there. But let's get into today's video. Also, real quick, if you're new to this channel, I'd love it if you hit that subscribe button down there, hit the little thumbs up like the sign there says, helps a small creator like me out, and let's go. Starting off as the 7th best, so I'm gonna say best, I'm not gonna say 7th worst Scream film, but the 7th of them is Scream 7. Fittingly, Scream 7, 7th best, not great, didn't love it, it was entertaining, but it definitely was not good. It was entertaining, and those are two very different things. The new cast of kids were okay. Sydney's daughter wasn't bad. McKenna Grace, very small screen, small amount of screen time, but one of the cooler kills in the movie. This movie had moments, it had scenes, it had some good kills. It wasn't as gory as I like some of the Scream movies to be. Now, I don't need them to be Terrifier level of gory, which I haven't seen the Terrifier films. Should I? Let me know in the comments. But I do like a little bit of gore with my horror. The Ghostface reveal was just, completely just sitting there just, oh, that's the killer. Oh, that's the reasoning. Oh, okay, sure. Just it gave me nothing. Gave me nothing that some of these other Ghostface killers, which I'll get into when I get to their ranking, it was like, oh man, I didn't see that coming. Like, oh, I didn't even think it could be that person. Like, that reveal of the Ghostface killer in Scream 7 was just terrible. And if it had been a better killer or a better reasoning for being the killer, I gave it a 5 in my review. Maybe it could have bumped up to a 6 or 7 with a better Ghostface, because I was entertained through majority of the film. But the Ghostface reveal is kind of like, like any momentum the movie had, it was just like, nope, don't care anymore. So I got Scream 7 in the 7th spot. Let's get to number 6. Coming in at number 6, we've got Scream 3. Now, I enjoy this movie. I enjoy it, but it is one of the more cheesier Scream films. Lots of returning characters, really cool cast, a lot of cool new additions in this film. Not a new one in Liev Schreiber, but you've got Patrick Dempsey as the detective who's trying to solve the case, who was also being accused as possibly being the killer. You've also got Carrie Fisher, who made an appearance, which I thought that was really cool, and Lance Henriksen, who you might know from the Alien franchise, playing Bishop, who creeped the hell out of me when I was a kid with that white stuff coming out of his mouth. Really disgusting. But yeah, Scream 3, 6th best. We've got the whole Hollywood setting. Now, I do like these movies when they step outside of Woodsboro. Some of them are in Woodsboro. Scream 7 was in a town like Woodsboro, but this one, we've got Hollywood. Scream 6, we had New York. So I liked getting out of the small town vibes because it gives you just different scenery, different, possibilities for kills. I liked the sound stages and being on the movie sets. That was all really cool. The Ghostface reveal, that was really good because I just did not see it coming. And I can't remember, these movies are so old. I can't remember what I thought when I originally saw them, but I don't think at any point I thought that it might be the director of the film. He was totally crazy. And I definitely didn't predict that he was going to be the half-brother of Sydney. That was a really cool twist. It's a shame that why does everyone have to be so freaking loony towards Sydney? Like, dude, the obsession people have with Sidney Prescott and her life and what's happening. Like, is it stupid that we've had 7 films about it? Is it stupid or is it awesome? Because it's kind of ridiculous how many people just are consumed by the Sidney Prescott story. They're like, I'm going to be the killer next. Overall, a solid film, not super high up on the list. And it is, I have it so low next to Scream 7, because Scream 7, I'll probably never rewatch that one. I just really don't think it was that good. Scream 3 is kind of in the same boat. If I was going to rewatch, that's probably very low on my list of, do I want to rewatch this one? Like, I'd rather watch 1 and 2, skip 3, jump into 4. it's okay. It's an alright movie. I enjoy it, just like I enjoyed Scream 7, but it's at number 6. Let's move on. Coming in at the number 5 spot, we've got, fittingly, Scream 5. This one, I really enjoyed this one. Good Ghostface killers, you know, kind of sticking on that whole people that are obsessed with the original murders in the Stab movies. So, like, that's kind of getting a little old, but got introduction of new characters. We've got Sam and Tara Carpenter. Sam, who we find out is Billy Loomis's daughter, which okay, that's a clever way to kind of bring it back to an OG character. I know they probably wanted to draw in like, oh, maybe she's the killer, but clearly she wasn't. I never really seriously suspected it. I didn't really suspect the killers in Richie and his accomplice, Mikey Madison's character, but I thought that they were really good, and they were really good when we get to the party at, I believe it was at Stu's house from the original one. The acting by Richie and Mikey Madison's character, the way that they're like, no, it was you. Like the way that they were able to play victim and accuse someone else and make that person feel like they're going crazy. Like very, very believable. So I really liked the way they played their characters. I know I'm kind of over the whole trope of like, oh, we're just two people obsessed with the Stab franchise. It's old, it's tired, but this one, it worked really well for Scream 5. I really liked that. Jenna Ortega, she was really great. Sam Carpenter's character, Sam Carpenter, who's played by Melissa Barrera, who unfortunately is not in the franchise anymore because Paramount's kind of idiotic in that. So that's why Scream 7, I think, also kind of feels out of place. It's just like they had to like take a hard left turn. They're like, we don't know what the next movie is going to be anymore because we just got rid of 2 characters. They're not going to be in the franchise anymore. Really stupid. But I really liked it. Richie being the boyfriend, I never really suspected him. I know, you're supposed to suspect the boyfriend, but then it's like, if you're supposed to suspect the boyfriend, that's too obvious. So we got to not think it's the boyfriend because it's got to be someone else because the boyfriend, that's too obvious. But is it being too obvious what makes it not too obvious? We also have the Martin twins, who are the niece and nephew of Randy from the original 2 Scream films. They were a great addition to the film, and I love that they were also in 6 and 7. So they survived, and I really like their characters. They're funny. They are kind of obsessed with murders in film and stuff like that. He was the jock guy, but obviously after what happened in Scream 5, the whole jock athletic career kind of went, but I really like that they were able to continue on, do the franchise. I mean, I really enjoyed myself with Scream 5. We've got Dewey again, and then we don't have Dewey again, which that was sad. Dewey, who survived so long in the franchise, really happy he made it as far as he did. Definitely thought he was dead way earlier in this franchise, especially like when they're in that soundboard room. He's just up against the glass and there's no sound and just all the blood streaking down. Definitely thought he died in that movie, but nope, he came back and then he came back and then sadly he didn't come back this time. Moving into the number 4 spot, we've got, again, the way this is lining up, fittingly, Scream 4. I really enjoyed this one. Ghostface killer, this was during the time of like, it's a little bit after the time, but it was right when social media is blowing up, Instagram and, you got Facebook and probably had Vine at the time. And I don't know if we had TikTok or not, but, the social media flare up and the movie was kind of centered around that. People obsessed with being famous and being, popular on the internet. And so they went way down that hole with Emma Roberts' character and with the Culkin character who was obsessed with horror movies in general, but mostly horror movies, always had his camcorder around. I really liked those Ghostface killers. It was a little bit silly how Emma Roberts' character was kind of like, I believe she was the niece of Neve Campbell or a cousin. Can't remember. It's been a little while since I've rewatched 4, but I do enjoy it. But she just wanted to be famous. But the only way to do that was going to be if she killed Neve Campbell. But then, when she survived, I thought that was really cool, the way they tricked her in the hospital. But man, there was some good fighting in this one. When her and Neve Campbell are fighting each other in the hospital, dude, it was brutal. But what was even more brutal was when Emma Roberts was throwing herself around that house and just throws herself through that glass table. Like, that was insane. We also got introduced to a new character, Kirby, played by Hayden Panettiere. And I really liked her. I like how they brought her back for Scream 6. It was kind of like, yeah. I really liked her character. She was like the hot, cool, popular kid, but she was kind of into the nerdy guy. And this film did a good job of like, oh, it's that person. wait, oh, no, you know what? It's that person. And then when they finally do reveal the person, you're all, wait, what? No, that wasn't either of the people that I thought it was going to be. I know Scream 4 doesn't sit like super high on people's rankings for the Scream franchise, but for me, I do really enjoy it. I enjoy rewatching this one. I think it's got a great cast. It's got some good kills. It's got some good reveals, and the Ghostface kills were good. And that's the most important part about these films, is whether or not the Ghostface like motives are good. Because if it's whack, like it was in Scream 7, I'm sorry, I'm tuning out. And I'm not sure there should be a Scream 8, just in the sense that like, I don't know what else they could do. They've kind of brought back a tie to all the original characters. I don't know where they would go moving forward. So maybe this franchise is dead. But what do you guys think in the comments? Should they continue the Scream franchise if they've got a good idea? Or do you think all the ideas are done? We've had them and it's time to move on. And let's get our next type of Scream franchise. And it's, 30 years. It's a good run. It's a good run. But I think it might be time to let it go. Coming in at number 3, I've got Scream 6. Now, I love Scream 6. Whether it's the Ghostface killers, the setting, some of the new additions to the cast, some of the, callbacks, bringing original cast members back, or just older characters back, like I mentioned for the last movie, Scream 4, bringing Kirby back. I thought that was really cool. I believe she was like an FBI agent, so thought that was really awesome. They brought her back. The motives for the killer were really good. I enjoyed that. Now we've got Sam and Tara in the Big Apple. So I loved the way they used New York City as almost like a character. And it was so cool to get out of the small Woodsboro type towns and be in a huge city with the subway and the bodegas. The bodega scene was cool. And I know some people were like, Ghostface doesn't use a gun, but the way they use the gun, I let it go. It's okay. It's okay. It's one thing when Batman uses a gun. People have a problem when Batman uses a gun. He's not supposed to use a gun, but Ghostface wants to use a gun. Let him. When you find out who the Ghostface killers are, you're kind of like, oh, okay, that's why he used the gun. They weren't some crazy obsessed stab movie fans. They really just wanted to get revenge for their kid and brother. I like that for once we didn't have two people that were just obsessed with the Sidney Prescott story or obsessed with the Stab franchise. The son and her brother, he was obsessed with the Stab franchise, but they just wanted revenge for their son being killed. But at the same time, that is kind of crazy by its own right. It's kind of like, wait, you want to kill the people who are responsible for killing your son who was killing people. Did I get that straight? I know he had a really small part in it, but I really liked the addition of Josh Segarra in the film. Before going into the movie, I had predicted, I'm like, he's one of the killers, if not the killer. I thought for sure he'd be a killer because I knew him from the show Arrow, to which he played Prometheus. Sorry if you haven't seen that show, spoiler alert. But he played a villain and he was, diabolical. Just such a good villain and also great at playing normal guy. You'd never suspect me to being one of the most evil dudes ever. So I thought for sure he was going to be the killer, but he wasn't. He was just a little, little plaything for Sam. Also loved that towards the end of the film when everyone's like gathered, it's basically like this mausoleum of just, like artifacts from all of the Scream films. Old knives, old costumes, old masks. I thought that was really cool, extremely nostalgic, just bringing all that stuff back, putting it in one room, and all the stories behind it. And, if you're like me and you saw the original one in theaters back in 1996, it was just, that was really cool, seeing all that stuff, the way it was laid out. Just really enjoyed that. Overall, it was a bold move to take Scream to New York, but I thought it absolutely worked. I loved it. It's sad that is the end of the Carpenter story. I'm not sure if those characters will ever come back, Paramount. I know Jenna Ortega didn't explicitly leave the franchise because of how they treated Melissa Barrera, but it seems like it's kind of connected. Will they ever bring them back? I'm sure if they could write a cool story about it and even convince Melissa to come back, because I'm sure she's kind of like, F you, like, no. Like, you guys screwed me, not coming back. But, you put enough zeros on a check, people will come back to work. Honestly, I think that's the only reason I'd be okay with them continuing and doing a Scream 8, is if they find a good story and they bring back the Carpenter sisters. Because, I'm sorry, the Sidney Prescott, I know she's the original Scream queen, man. In the Scream franchise. Obviously, you got Jamie Lee Curtis and others that are Scream queens. But the Scream franchise queen. the final girl. We've had enough. I mean, we've had enough. What else can we do with that character? So give us something new. But yeah, Scream 6. I loved it. Do you love it? I know this is kind of crazy. I really didn't think it was going to work out this way, the way this ranking's working. But coming in at number 2 is Scream 2. I love this movie. I can't remember if this is one I got to see in theaters or if it was one that once it came out on video, my parents rented it for me from like Blockbuster. But there's just something about this movie that it just sticks with me. I've rewatched it a lot of times. I really love it. Whether it's the Cotton Weary scene when they're in the library and he pulls Sid aside in the staircase and the FBI agents come. His desperation, I really loved those interactions with Liev Schreiber's character. And, you know, the cafeteria scene where he reenacts Tom Cruise and he's singing to her on the tables and stuff. I thought that whole scene, that was really cool. The introduction of Mickey, I loved Mickey. And that was my introduction to that actor as well. I really like him in anything he's in. Most recently, I know him from being in Alien Earth, which if you haven't seen Alien Earth, I would recommend going and watching that. If you're a fan of the Aliens franchise, you can check out some of my videos there. Really cool show. Some things I would tweak about it, but hopefully season 2 is amazing. So keep an eye out for that. And a stupid little line that I'll still say to my friend and stuff, just like a little cop out. I'll be like, Omega Beta Zeta.
Omega Beta Zeta.
You know, having Sarah Michelle Gellar, Scream Queen in herself from the I Know What You Did Last Summer franchise, it was cool getting her in the movie. Then the reveal of the Ghostface killers. I really liked these ones. I mean, finding out that it was Billy Loomis's mother. I mean, just the crazy mom thing. And then her little quips and stuff, her yelling at Gail, like the insults and stuff. I thought that she was a really great killer. Also getting Mickey. I was bummed that Mickey died though. I know that like he wasn't tied to the original cast or anything like that, but I thought the little bits that we did get of him were really good, and I'm glad to have seen his career go in like a good direction. He's not in a ton of things, but everything that he is in is really good. I still need to check out Justified though. I haven't seen that show. So Scream 2 at number 2, which leaves us with the original Scream coming in the number 1 spot, because honestly, I mean, was there any doubt that the original was going to be the best? Because most franchises, you know, at least like this one, you can't beat the original. You can try and go bigger and you can try and go better with the, you know, star names in the cast and stuff. But sometimes it just comes down to that original film and you just can't beat that. And this film is particularly special to me because I saw it in theaters with my late father. That's a memory I'll always have, having seen that in theaters with him back in 1996. I was 11 years old and it was awesome that he used to take me to movies like this. I was seeing horror movies as a little kid and this movie was just awesome. I loved it. You know, this might have been one of my early introductions to horror in general. I don't recall before this movie having seen a lot of the Halloween movies or, you know, I unintentionally seen some Child's Play movies and some Nightmare on Elm Street movies just because my parents had them on and they terrified me. I was terrified of Chucky and Freddy growing up. So I didn't really watch those movies. I just seen little bits. I remember walking into my local video store back when I lived in Fresno as a little kid. They had a Chucky poster and they had a Hellraiser poster, and I'd have to just like walk in a straight line. Don't look at the walls. Don't look at the walls, Chris. I was terrified of Chucky and Hellraiser, which I haven't seen any of the Hellraiser films. So is that a franchise to check out? Let me know down in the comments because I've always wanted to check it out. I've just never dived into it. So yeah, Scream, I'd say, I mean, going off memory, I really think it was kind of my real introduction into horror. Actually sitting down and watching a horror film and not being scared necessarily like I was when I was a really little kid, you know, when I was like 6 or 7 years old, seeing Hellraiser and, you know, Chucky and Freddy Krueger, those characters, just seeing the posters were terrifying. But, you know, I did see the little bits of Child's Play movie. Oof, so scary to me. I mean, now as an adult, I mean, laughable. They're comedy movies. But Scream, man, Scream is just special and such a stacked cast. I mean, just a stacked cast and so many great one-liners. Oh, Mom and Dad are gonna be so mad at me. Oh, and another classic, I feel a little woozy here. So many one-liners in that movie. And then directly because of Scream, we got the whole Scary Movie franchise, which, I mean, Scream, let that happen. I mean, Scream was just such a trendsetter, and it's just special. And I love that, I believe it was in Scream 2, when we get like the little clips of them like reenacting the events from Scream 1 with the different actresses and actors. And you got Luke Wilson, just so stupid. Scream 1 is just special to me. Didn't see the killers coming. That one, it surprised me. I didn't know who the killers were going to be. Obviously, it's a new franchise. We don't know the rules of this franchise. Who's it supposed to be? Some people thought it was the dad, because where's the dad been all along? Like, he's been out of town. Nobody's seen him. No one can get a hold of him. I could honestly just talk about this franchise just all day, but I'd love to know what you guys think. You know, what's your ranking? If you could comment it down below, how do you rank the 7 Scream films? You know, do you rank Scream 7 higher? Is the original Scream not in your #1 spot? Let me know. And again, if you're new to this channel, I'd love it if you hit the subscribe button down there, hit the little thumbs up like the sign there says, and let's keep the conversation going after the video ends, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Bye.